going on, guys? So Z gave me another problem. Well, not another problem. We have a problem with the Z. The alternator burnt out. Got the infamous brake light and battery light. So I'm gonna show you guys how to change your alternator on the 370Z. All right, let's get it. Okay, so we're gonna have to take out this tensioner pulley. Well, not take it out, but I don't know if we have to take it out. I don't think we do. I saw somebody take it out before, but I don't think we have to take it out. I think we just have to keep the tension free. I want to change the serpentine belt while changing the alternator as well. Alternator, if you can see, is back under the AC compressor. So let's see, because we might have to take out the coolant reservoir. I'm not sure if we have to take off the fan shroud yet. But first things first is to take down the bolts from the undershroud, which are 10mm bolts. And I think the tensioner bolt is a 12mm. This might be a 2-day process because it is really hot. It's like almost 100 degrees. So we might do this another day when it gets cooler, of course. But yeah, I tested the voltage. The voltage is at below 11, in between 10 and 11. And I took off the battery, the positive terminal while the car was running, and it shut right off. So we're not getting charged, we're not holding any charge. So yeah, all right, let's get started. All right, so before we start this job, we gotta disconnect the battery. Disconnect at least the positive terminal to the battery. Or just disconnect the negative, doesn't matter. Negative or the positive. And I gotta fix that corrosion on the planets. Fix the corrosion on the terminals. All right, so we have to take off these 4 bolts for the undershroud. The ones in the back, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. That's all I have left for this undershroud. I gotta redo this undershroud. Remount it with new bolts. But yeah, like I said, the alternator has, what, 100,000 miles on it. The belt as well, so might as well change them both. Thinking about changing the tensioner as well, but let's see. What the fuck? So now that we have that out, now we can see our alternator. See our alternator right there. Looks all corroded and such. We gotta remove these 2 bolts. There's a bolt behind the pulley itself, the tensioner pulley, which again I think you can get to if we loosen the tension. We have to remove this fan shroud. Let's check it out. So we're gonna need a 1/4-inch drive to loosen the tension. I hope it's long enough. Let's try it. I'm gonna try it from the bottom. I know we're not gonna be able to get it from the top. We have a 1/4-inch drive on the pulley, on the tensioner. We're just gonna pull back. We're gonna pull back on it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands. Okay, tension's off. Tension is up. There's the bolt. Took the belt off. There's a bolt right behind this tensioner that we have to hold. We gotta hold the tensioner. In order to take out the bolt, we gotta hold this tensioner. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a bolt behind this pulley here. I might want to replace this tensioner just for old time's sake, because I think it's making a noise. See? I don't know if you can hear it. I think this is where this noise is coming from. So I think I am going to replace this tensioner. Interesting. Okay. All right. So we got that part, and the belt is off. So now it should be just the 3 mountain bolts. So yeah, we might as well take out the tensioner too. This tensioner pulley is not supposed to be going in. Moving back and forth like this. All right, so I'm gonna take off the coolant, the fan shrouds, in order to get to the tensioner pulley, since we're changing that too. It is hot. I said I was just gonna jack it up today. But as you keep looking at the job and seeing how maybe it might not be that bad, I just wanna test it out. Okay, I think we have it out. Oh, I think we've got it. Maybe not. There we go. And she's out. Still don't see a need to, I don't see a need to take out all of this, the fan shrouds. I don't want to jinx myself though. But, see what happens. Okay, so here we go. We got the tensioner off. That's where the tensioner was. We're gonna get a new tensioner, and we have the belt off too, and we're gonna get the alternator out now. Okay, so now we have our tensioner. Our belt tensioner is out, and we have the serpentine belt is out. Next is the alternator. All right, so we loosened the 2 bolts. 2 bolts that we were worried about. So I loosened those 2, this one and the one behind it up there. And we have to just disconnect the connectors for the alternator. There's 2 connectors. There's a plug-in connector, and then we have to screw off that little terminal there. Ow! That's the part of trying a little leverage here. The alternator is not coming out. Get that bitch one more time. Another thing, guys, if you're gonna be working on your car and you know it's been sitting for a while, or it's like rusty under, do yourself a favor, spray some PB Blaster on here.
PB Blaster, don't bust your knuckles, bust your nuts. Get some!
And make sure your nuts go off.
Get some!
Alright, so we got this bolt loose. That bolt I showed you the first time was the wrong bolt. So I tightened that back up and torqued it down. Alright, so we got these two bolts loose, ready to come out. Another thing, this lower bolt for the alternator, lower alternator bolt is a 12 millimeter. The higher one is a 14 millimeter. So we gotta disconnect the electrical and we're pretty much done for today. What the fuck are you supposed to get today? Yeah, this is a pain in the ass to get to. Like for real, for real. Without moving this oil filter. Pain in the ass. Why would they make it so that you have to move this oil filter? You know what I'm saying? Let's connect that. Ow. God. Gotta get an electric gun. An electric, what is it? An electric ratchet. All these years of working on cars, I never got one. Totally regret it. I gotta get one. Christmas is coming up. If you're ever in the market to get or thinking about getting a electric ratchet, get one. Save yourself some knuckles, some sweat and tears. God damn, it's a long ass bolt. The top alternator bolt. Top bolt is the longest bolt. Oh, you son of a bitch. So you gotta take out the fairing shroud. Look at this. That's how long the bolt is. We gotta take out the fairing shroud. So we take that out from the top. We have to take out the fairing shroud. Take this off. And where's the other one? This one. This bolt. Please have patience with me with this camera. What's going on, guys? Part 2. A whole bunch of rain this week, so just got rained out. Alright, so we gotta take this fan shroud out. First, we gotta start off with taking off this plug here with a 10 millimeter wrench. So I'm trying not to take this hose out. So we're gonna try and squeeze it past this hose. Might have to take it out. Okay. All right, so I wound up taking out the upper radiator hose just to get the fan out. I had to disconnect this plug. And yeah, so we're pretty much ready to take out the alternator. Alright, and after a little struggle, we got the alternator out. The alternator was a biatch. Alternator was a bitch to come out, especially these plugs. This plug was just hard to get to, these two plugs. Then you have this bracket here, that nobody mentions in their videos. You got these two brackets here that attach to the end, to the wiring harness. Down there, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, attaches to the wiring harness. Yeah, this thing was a bitch. Now we're gonna go to the store, get the new alternator, new serpentine belt, and belt tensioner. I need all new pulleys. But as you can see, I had to take out pretty much everything. The radiator hose, fan shrouds, everything I did not want to take out, I had to take out. We will be back. All right, so we finally got the alternator, and we're gonna put it in the same way we took it out. Right, this bracket here goes into the second hole. Just remember where your bolts and nuts and bolts go. The bracket goes into here with a short bolt, and the long bolt goes up top. Right here. Long bolt goes up top. Alright, let's put this thing in and I'll get back to you guys. Alright, got the alternator in. And just to let you know, for the bottom bracket bolt, it's going to be a 12 millimeter, and for the top bolt, it's going to be a 14 millimeter. And we got all of our electrical connections connected. We connected back the oil pressure sensor. Oil pressure sensors. Alright, yeah, oil pressure sensor 1 and 2, they're there. You're gonna know what I'm talking about, because these wires are blocking the alternator from coming out, so you're gonna have to take those out. The bolt to the positive wire is a 13 millimeter bolt. And also, I'm gonna have to do my oil change anyway, so I'm gonna wait, but you might have to take out this filter to put on the 2 little bolts holding the bracket. These 2 little bolts here. So I'm also waiting for my Serpentine belt and all my pulley. I'm changing all the pulleys. So we're gonna, I ordered them from Z1. So I'm changing all of these pulleys. This one, loose it is. They make noise. They're old. All of these pulleys here, I'm changing. So yeah, Z1. I'm waiting for Z1. Got the alternator there, looking new. All right, guys. Day 4, day 3, day 4. Finally got the parts. Smooth idler pulley. The 2 driveline groove pulley. 322. Okay. Serpentine belt from Z1. And the tensioner assembly. I'm gonna take that apart. And also have my oil change stuff and antifreeze that we lost. First thing I'm gonna do is take out these pulleys. Well, I loosened them already. You need a 14 millimeter bolt for these pulleys here. And ready to get this thing back up and running. All right, I'm gonna do this pulley by pulley. One by one. Part number is 36222 for gates. That's for the grooved pulley. All right, that's one down. Since the new pulley didn't come with a new nut, you have to hit it out with a mallet. I'm using a rubber mallet. It has a little lock pin, a little lock washer right here. So just be careful where you put that, because you're gonna have to put that back on to lock it in. See? Now you got your nut in your bolt. Your nut in your lock washer. You're gonna put the pulley, this side is gonna face the outside. You're We'll put the lock washer back on. Not sure if you need to put the lock washer on, but I'm just putting it on just to be safe. Always be safe than sorry. The next one is the smooth idler pulley, and this is a 14mm as well. These don't have lock washers. All right, so there's all the pulleys put in. We're gonna go ahead and put in the new belt tensioner next. For this idler pulley, I think it's a 3/4 inch socket. So be wary of that. The rest are 14mm, but this one is a 3/4 inch socket. Everything fit well. I'm ready to get this thing done. So these are the two differences in belt tensioners. You see this one was worn, rusted, 100,000 miles. So time to change it. We have the belt routing routing diagram for the new belt that's gonna come on. So, yep, let's get into it. I'm not sure if I should take this off now or later. I think later, until everything is set in place. I think this is a 14mm too, I believe. Yes, 14mm. We have the belt tensioner in, and now we're gonna put on the belt. Then we're gonna loosen the tension, and that's it. All right, courtesy of Z1. Put this belt in, look at the diagram, compare and such. Okay. I'm gonna go on the crankshaft first. Well, the compressor first. I gotta relieve the tension from the tensioner. As you guys can see, the belt is now installed. Took a little time. Just a pointer, make sure all of the rigid lines are on first, the rigid sides are on first, and then you can just smooth over the pulley side. Much easier. All right, so now, hopefully that's on right. It's on tight. I'm not liking the slack, but that's all that she really wrote for the tension. I might have to tighten it up some. First things first, we have to, I want to do my oil change and then put the remaining alternator bolts, well, not alternator bolts, but the brackets to the alternator on two little bolts. You don't know what I'm talking about. I think they're 8mm bolts, and then we're gonna put the fan shroud back on. And yeah, we're gonna get this done. Do a little time lapse. Before we put back in the old oil filter, I have to go behind this alternator and put it on the bracket, the electrical bracket. Not sure if you can see it, but if you're down here, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get this done. Once you feel around for it, you can find it. But if you can, put the bracket on. Okay, got the intake back on. I'm gonna put the overflow back on, put some oil in there. Yes, this is oil. This is Liqui Moly 5W30, and it is green. Great for leak detection. All right, so we tested it out. All right, tested out the car. We had some problems, follow me. We had some problems, right? Because we had a faulty alternator, it caused a lot of corrosion. So we had to use some vinegar and water to clear out the corrosion and clean it up a bit. I still got some corrosion on the cables, but I just want to test it out. The battery seems to be running at 14. At 14. Yeah, 14.7 is the battery reads. Before it was between 10 and 12, almost 11. So now we're running good numbers. I'm waiting to see if the cooling system is working. So I'm putting on the AC and then I'm turning on the lights. Okay, now it's not doing it no more. If I put it on high. Okay. There we go. And then it slips again. Okay, so I think I need to tighten up the belt. Push a little bit more down on that tensioner, and but I want to see if I want to see the cooling system. I want to see the fans come back on. See if my cooling system is working. Hopefully. If that's the case, then one job done. Alright, so we're good to go. I tightened up the belt. Made sure everything was tight. Make sure nuts and bolts are tight. Everything is back the way it was. There she is, new alternator, new belt, new pulleys. Like I said, I tightened it up, made sure she was up and up. Yeah, one and done. Another project for Haze Z Motorsports. DIY 370Z mod. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. This is Dr. Haze out. Later, guys.